Namaste, warriors. Julie Norman here with a very special guest. If you've been following my blogs, it's usually been just me, but I have taken on a partner in peace with Body Karma Healing, dear friend and colleague, Christy Leahy. Yay. I can't say enough about her. Head over to my website, check out my latest blog if you want to learn a little bit more about this amazing recovery warrior as well. She's going to join me today as we finish up our Warrior series with Warrior 3. So we've done Warriors 1, 2, and 3, kicking off 2017, really grounded in strength and grace. We need a lot of that in the world right now. That's really captures what recovery is all about, those two words. There's many others, but keep that in mind as we practice today. So this is another really strong standing pose. Christy's going to show you how to use the support of a chair, or you can even use the support of a wall, right? Countertop for this pose. It's a balance pose, so we're going to end up on one leg, but the other leg doesn't need to get too far away from the ground. So always in your yoga practice, modify, take care of your body, meet yourself at that comfortable edge, maybe nudge a little bit, but don't hurt yourself. Respect your body, honor your body, and any level of the pose is powerful, okay? If you're mindful, if you're breathing, if you are loving yourself, which is just accepting right where you are. That's so much what the path of yoga is. It's not about the pose you end up in, right? Mm-hmm. Just like it's not about the shape of your body. It's the, fullness of your soul. So I'm going to use the blocks here and face this way. Christy is going to use the back of the chair. And we're just going to start in mountain pose. Let's take a few deep breaths. Root into the soles of your feet. Relax your low back and low belly. Strong legs, soft heart. Just breathe in, down through your body to the soles of your feet, through to the core of the earth. And then as you breathe out, let that unconditional love and support of Mother Earth move through your body. A few more rounds. Fill up as much as you can, without pushing or straining, and release as completely as possible. Again, always being kind to your body. Okay, so a golden point about balance poses is if you're not stable in mountain pose and balanced and aligned here, you're probably not going to end up very stable and once you take a foot off the ground. So that's really important. If you get wobbly, come back to mountain pose. The mind hates that. Our egos hate it. We want to move forward and we want to push and we want to achieve. Let that go. You're whole and enough just as you are. You don't even have to do the pose. So keep that in mind, and I really want you to challenge yourself with that. So there's a few different ways to come into this pose. How we're going to come into it today is just starting with a supported forward fold, which again will look like Christy using the chair to put her hands on and hinging. Now if you have lower back issues, especially bulging discs, you want to avoid this or take a really, 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 really deep bend in your knees. And always consult, your treatment team, your doctors for guidance around poses or any physical practice that you engage in. But you can start with that nice deep bend. You may need to warm up a little bit more to start getting those hamstrings lengthening. But they don't even have to get completely straight, right? So maybe walk the dog a little bit here. So something we do in downward dog is just bend one knee at a time. And it may feel uncomfortable and really vulnerable, but you really want to lift that tailbone, try to flatten your back out here. That's opening that pelvic region, which is our feminine center, which can be really hard when you're in the recovery process. So just keep that in mind. And not only physically, emotionally, only do what you're really ready for. So Try to start about here, and as you can see, I'm going to have Christy come back up to that that half forward fold. And you can see here how what we want to move towards is a 90-degree angle with our body. So her heels are under her hip joint. She's got a nice neutral spine. If you've taken yoga classes, you do this in table pose. You also have that neutral spine, usually in downward dog, and she's feeling it out, finding what are the extremes, and then finding the middle. It's a nice flat back here. Notice she's not dropping her head down, but she's lifting the back of her neck, ears in line with the shoulders, and then the wrist about in line with the shoulders as well. She could even drop her hands outside the chair if she wanted to. There's more alignment there. So that's the prep part of the pose. You can practice just that. I know it starts to get to be a lot, right? Shake it out. And you can see here I'm doing it with 2 blocks. So, and I'm tall on the blocks, tall on my fingertips for me to have that 90-degree angle. Then all we're going to do is take our weight more into the left leg. Don't shift the hips too much. Don't make a big exaggerated movement. Just gently shift the majority of that body weight over to the left side so you can start to pull your right foot back. Keep as straight of a leg as possible and maybe start just about there. Pause. If it's okay with your body, you can lift a little taller. Now notice I'm keeping my legs super straight, foot flexed, toes pointing towards the ground. You can lift and get the leg about level with the back body. And you can stay here on a chair at the wall or on the blocks, or you can free yourself up from that support and find the full pose there. Now notice, I'm going to do a little adjustment on Christy. I'm going to bring that heel down so there's a nice straight line from her hip here. And notice her hips are really level. Sometimes when we lift the one leg back, we roll the hip open. That's a different pose. We're going to stay right there. And that's tricky. So as that back leg lifts, you keep the back level there. Come on up. Woo! Now it's a lot. Shake it out. And so we did, let's see, stood on the left leg, lifted the right. Let's do the other side. And I'm going to go the same way as Christy this time. The right leg will become the standing leg. And I'm going to go into the pose from standing. So another way you can come into it is starting in this full mountain pose. Takes a little more concentration, a little more strength and balance. Lifting and hinging. Now notice, I'm only folding forward as much as the back leg is lifting. So you want that to all be connected. My left wrist to my left shoulder to my left heel is all staying in one line. Sometimes what you'll see happen is people lift the leg, really high and fold too far down, or they're still up here. You know, you want to create balance. From the tips of the fingers out through the sole of that extended foot. And you can even play with it. You can even do that rock back and forth a little bit, right? And the key word being play. Keep it fun. Keep it light. Especially with your balance poses. If you get tense and you get mad at yourself, you're going to move further away from balance. In your physical body, in your emotional self, you're going to generate more fear, anxiety, and tension, which doesn't feel good in our bodies. And that's so much of where painful body image comes from, is just the energy of those heavy, dark emotions getting stuck, getting trapped. And the reason we move into these strong poses and we breathe and we feel ourselves so we can move those layers of energy through, and we start to feel them back home in our true selves. Lightness, peace, love, creativity, joy, all those happy words. Remember, that's what your true nature really is. That's our baseline, not pain and suffering. And I actually think the eating disorder can show us the opposite of what our true nature really is, and it gives us a frame of reference to come back home to what our baseline of love really looks like. And that's what the poses help us with. It's kind of complicated, but as you just take to your mat, spend time with yourself, these lessons start to become clear, and you'll feel it. You might not understand it here. It's just going through it. Just like the process of recovery. You kind of don't know what you're really doing. And then you start doing things, and then you start, wow, okay, I'm getting this. And it's always practice. So that's Warrior 3. Spend a little time on each side. That's something you can toss into whatever you may be doing for your yoga practice right now. And if you have any questions or comments, please plug them in below and we will get back to you. Namaste, warriors. The light in us honors and sees the light in you.